The end of the ESPN era as Manel Kape knocks Brandon Royval out in the first round, and I get the final ESPN main event pick wrong as Manel Kape finally decided that he had some power in his hands. Finally decided that he was going to knock somebody out for one of the first times in his fucking career, and decided to actually fight. This was quite a sad fight. Listen, Royval was doing quite well at the start. He was moving around quite well. He was kind of bouncing around, landing as well. But I don't know what Manel Kape just decided to do. He was just like, right, this guy actually needs to get knocked the fuck out. So he actually decided to just start fucking trying with his hands. And he just put Royval out cold. Listen, me and Royval are cool. I know you all followed me on Instagram. We used to chat in the DMs. We used to chat a lot. Then he fought Pantoja and then he unfollowed me. But me and Royval are cool. We're cool. It was very sad seeing him got knocked out. It was a very good ending to the ESPN era. The whole card itself was actually pretty stacked. But the whole Manel Kape situation is very, very interesting. And he slots into this division extremely, extremely nicely. As you can see, some guy comments down below. Manel Kape versus Tatsu Atura, title eliminator before Pantoja comes back, but I'll be honest with you boys, I think Tatsu Atura versus Joshua Van is going to be next. And I think, I said this in my video, I know Abel, you called it. Abel, my mate said that, Manel Kape actually beats Joshua Van before this fight even happened. He said it like yesterday. And I was like, holy shit, I actually think he actually is going to beat Joshua Van in my opinion. It was one of those stylistic fights that just suits Kape personally. So Manel Kape decided to absolutely grow a gyno on his fucking tit, and now he is suddenly has power. It's kind of sus. But the fight should have ended when it ended. I don't think you should have let Brandon Royval continue, to be honest with you. The dude just kind of went out like twice. I see some people being like, it should have went longer, he should have got another chance. Absolutely fucking not. That fight was stopped at the perfect time. And Manel Kape now is in the same situation that Arman Tsarukyan finds himself in. He deserves to be fighting for a belt, but the way that the division is, and he's going to get stuffed. Tatsu Atura does not deserve to be fighting for a title. I understand the whole, it's, first all-Asian kind of thing is very exciting, and they can do that in Asia. It's extremely exciting, but damn, bro, like, I know they're both in extremely good positions, and if I was the matchmaker, I would do Kape versus Tatsu Atura, and then I would do Joshua Van versus Pantoja, because Joshua Van, in my opinion, is just not the champion. Like, you didn't beat Pantoja. He literally got an injury in that fight. And if Pantoja has to fight again, it's a bit of a disgrace. Like, under no circumstances should Pantoja ever have to fight again just to get back into a title fight. He was one of the most dominant champions literally the past 4 years. And, he deserves to be fighting. Manel Kape has definitely put himself in a good position, though. Knocking out Royval, that's the Amiguru. Knocking out Royval like that, I was watching this thing. Knocking out Royval like that, I'm trying to get my camera. Definitely puts you in a prime position. And, him versus Tatsu Atura is an exciting fight. I just think stylistically, and especially after seeing that Manel Kape can do some serious damage to Joshua Van. I didn't necessarily think he would knock out Joshua Van, but now that Brandon Royval is extremely hard to finish. That was the first time I have ever seen Brandon Royval get slept. And listen, I picked Royval to win this fight. I thought Royval was just going to be a little bit too much. The way he always just, I said this to my friend, he always seems to just get these fights done. He beat Tatsu Atura. He beat Mateus Nicolai. He beat Brandon Moreno on short notice. He just seems to get these kind of fights done to keep himself in the mix. But he just fell short today. And that's probably Brandon Royval out of the title picture unless he can go on a mad run, because he's kind of one of those fighters that's always going to be one fight away. And when you're always one fight away, one fight backwards is 10 fights backwards. So unless Royval gets in the mix with a crazy short notice win against someone like Tatsu Atura, although he has a win against him, let's not forget that, it's going to be very hard to get back. For Manel Kape, you're in a very good position, but you're also in a position of like, you're really caught in no man's land of. You're just going to have to sit there and wait and see how the division plays out, because no way are they going to give you a title shot. They're not going to bottle or forget or jump the queue for Tatsu Atura versus Joshua Van. You're simply just not going to see that happen. Manel Kape will not jump the queue for that fight. It's the exact same thing with Arman Tsarukyan. Arman Tsarukyan's not going to jump the queue for, Paddy Pimblett or Justin Gaethje. I know they're fighting for the interim, but still, it's just not going to happen. And for Manel Kape, I think the Joshua Van stylistically is an exciting fight. It's both going to be standing. I think Kape's going to be too slick on the feet for him. I think Kape's going to be too slick on the feet for him. I think Kape's going to be able to outmaneuver him. Very interesting to see him in the pocket. I think Kape's going to do quite well with the low kicks in that fight. I think he beats Joshua Van. It's actually insane. And I didn't think he was going to beat Brandon Moreno, like I said. But the only problem with the last night, the card was actually class. Gigic Katsi got fucked up bad. Morgan Charrier got knocked the fuck out. The card was very good. But there's no UFC for like 6 weeks. What the fuck is that about? Why don't we have like a card? And where the fuck are the cards? It blows my mind. Okay, so we have 3 less cards already, or 2 less cards to the start of January. It's fucking ass, bro. 6 weeks of no UFC is terrible. So I'm gonna bash out the tier list videos. So stay tuned for them. But this was a good way to end it. I enjoyed the fight. It only lasted like 3 minutes of fighting. You couldn't have put yourself in a better position if you were Manel Kape. But then again, I don't think it really... He's in the exact same position as Sarukian. It doesn't matter what you have done in that fight. You're not going to get the title shot. You know, and I don't think Tatsuro deserves the title shot. Okay, beating Brandon Moreno. You know, Brandon Moreno beat Armia Albazi. Cool. He's fighting someone now. He got announced today. He beat Amir Albazi, and he lost to Royval before that as well. And listen, I know Kape lost to Muhammad Makayev, but fuck, bro, like Brandon Moreno was winning that fight as well against Tatsuro Tura until he got clipped, and then kind of like, look, I still believe he got hurt and then kind of got discombobulated from what I saw. It was such a weird thing, but the All Asian thing is going to be extremely appealing to the UFC. Manel Kape versus God only fucking knows. They could even do like Brandon Moreno versus Manel Kape or some shit like that. Pantoja has to fight for the belt next. But the whole card was great. I'm a big Manel Kape fan. I think he's absolutely based. I love his post-fight, moments. He always brings heat. He would have fucking smoked Kai Kara-France. That wouldn't have even been fair. And God knows what he's going to fight for next. Tatsuro Tura versus Joshua Van is a great scrap. I do love that fight. I think there's many great fights to make a flyweight. Flyweight's got some fucking banging stylistic matchups. Most of them are strikers as well. We got rid of Askar Askarov a few years ago. He was kind of the only boring wrestler. He was that undefeated wrestler that everyone was kind of avoiding for a while. Then Kai Kara-France took the fight. So, God, I don't even know what the fuck he's doing. He's been out of the UFC for years. And, you had Royval versus Askarov. That was booked, and then pullouts and stuff like that. So, Manel Kape in the mix is absolutely banging. Don't bring back Muhammad Makayev. He's a fucking bum, and I don't want to see him in the UFC. He's boring as fuck, and I just don't like it. But, yeah, the six weeks of no UFC, I'm going to be banging out tier lists. There's no, like, cards to preview. Like, I don't want to preview Gaethje versus Pimblett. I might do, like, an early preview of the card because it's sick. But I want to save a full card breakdown. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to keep repeating myself over the same card. But, yeah, bro, I don't even know. Like, 6 weeks is a long ass. That's a month and a half, like, of just no UFC. They better give us some fight announcements or some crazy shit might go down. I'll make a video on Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul, of course. But the whole thing's just kind of like, what the fuck? As UFC fans, like, what do we do now for the next 6 weeks? We are coming back to an absolutely banging card, so it is shit. It is what it is. But let me know what you think about all this down below, and thanks for watching once again, boys.